Hi, I'm Julie Goodwin and I am so thrilled to be back with the Australian Women's Weekly in a very real way. It feels like coming home. Speaking of home, I'm going to show you one of my quick, easy midweek recipes. This is a Spanish chicken, all done in one pan. So first of all, I'm going to make a paste out of some fresh tomatoes. If you don't have really nice ripe tomatoes, you can use half a can of tomatoes instead. I'm just going to halve them and pop them into a food processor. Then I'm going to put in 4 cloves of peeled garlic. And just a brown onion I'll cut into quarters.
Do you have any tips for peeling and chopping an onion without tears?
I don't know if there's any tried and true method. I think it depends largely on the onion, but a sharp knife helps. And if you've got space in your fridge when they're cold, I think they're less likely to make you cry. Some people wear swimming goggles. I look silly enough in the kitchen without wearing goggles. And then a red capsicum. So I'm just going to take the stalk out, chop around the top like that. And with that comes most of the seeds. And I'm just going to cut those white pieces out as well. What makes this a good midweek meal is that it's all done in one pan. It's very limited prep time. So I can get this all in the pan done really fast, put it in the oven, go play with my granddaughter, and then come back and serve it to the table. It's really important with coriander that you wash it thoroughly because the dirt can get right down in between the stalks there. So this has been thoroughly washed, and also the little hairy bits have been scraped off the roots there. And I'm just going to take that up to about halfway and throw that in here with my paste, and I'm going to reserve those leaves to scatter across the top a bit later on. At this stage too, if you like it spicy, you can throw in chilies, whether you want jalapenos or just the long red. If you like it really hot, throw it in with the seeds. If you just want a little hint of chili, take the seeds out, because the seeds and the sort of membrane inside is where a lot of that heat is. But because I often serve this to my granddaughter and to people who don't like spice, I'd just leave the chili out today. All right, so once that's blitzed up, I'm just going to get some chorizo on. So this I'm just going to halve lengthways. You can normally get this from the deli counter. What you don't want to do is buy the ones that are meant to be like sausages that you put on the barbecue. You want this kind of small goods style. So I'm just going to slice that about 1/2 centimetre thick and pop that into the pan, and that'll sort of render its own fat down and start to give you the oil that you need to cook the rest of the dish. So what I'm looking for is a little bit of sort of golden colour and for that lovely oil to start coming out. Once I've got some good colour on the chorizo, I'm going to go in with this lovely paste that we've made. If you wear glasses like me, you want to avoid the steam that happens when you pour that all in. Every time I open the oven. And into that, I'm going to add a tablespoon of smoked paprika, and about a teaspoon of salt, and some pitted Kalamata olives. They give it a lovely saltiness too. So that needs to cook down now until it dries out quite a bit and becomes really rich in flavour. Depending on the heat, depending on the pan, it can take 5 or so minutes to cook down. While that's happening, I'm just going to slice up some potatoes. These are washed potatoes. They've got a more waxy sort of consistency than the dirty potatoes, so these are really good for this dish because they don't disintegrate into the sauce. I do love the sort of foundation flavours of some of this kind of Spanish cookery. Tomatoes are so easy because they're in season for a long time in Australia, but also the canned tomatoes do just as well. You can always have that in your cupboard ready to go. Olives I've always got in my fridge. So the ingredients for this I almost always have lying around, and I love anything that you can kind of put together and then walk away from. I can really smell the smokiness of that paprika cooking out in that sauce. So I'm going to give that just another couple of minutes to dry out a little bit more, and then we'll crack on. So basically now that this is cooked down, it's dried out, it's really fragrant because all the ingredients are cooking, I'm going to throw in some potatoes and toss them around just to coat them. So essentially I just want to toss this around so that all the potatoes are kind of coated with that lovely sauce. And then I'm just going to nestle these chicken thigh fillets in amongst that. So what I've got here is chicken thighs. They've got the bone in and the skin on. The skin goes beautiful and crispy in the oven, but if you wanted to use boneless, skinless chicken thigh fillets, you can. The cooking time's a little less though. I'm putting 6 of these into the pan. If you've got really hungry people, you can put in 8. But any more than that, you're gonna need to start bulking up all the other ingredients and use a bigger pan as well. So I'm just going to kind of nestle them around. I want that skin sort of up and exposed.
Do you need to brown them in the pan beforehand?
I don't brown these in the pan beforehand because I'm putting them into a really hot oven. So I'm just going to put some oil and spice over the top of that, and that will crisp up and brown up really beautifully in the oven. I'm going to sprinkle some of that smoked paprika over the top of that as well. And then a good generous amount of salt too. Then that whole pan goes into a good hot oven for 40 to 45 minutes. You'll see the skin is golden and crisp and the potatoes will be tender when you poke them with a skewer or with a knife. So there you go. It smells amazing. It looks beautiful. So now all I'm going to do is pop on some lemon wedges and those coriander leaves. I would serve this with some beautiful crusty bread and maybe some salad leaves, a green salad of some sort. You just plonk it on the table, everyone can help themselves, mop up that beautiful sauce with the bread. It is so simple, really straightforward and really delicious.